Today we are making chicken soup with matzo balls. This will heal anything from a cold to a broken heart. You'll start with a nice chicken. This is a 5-pound chicken. And then vegetables for the mirepoix. So celery, carrots, and onion. And then chicken bouillon, oregano, thyme, parsley, salt and pepper, and butter. Let's get started. The first step is to make the mirepoix. So you'll go ahead and melt some butter in a soup pot. I'm using my Instapot. And then you'll add the onions and the celery and carrot, and you'll go ahead and stir it up and cook for maybe about 3 minutes, just until the onion is translucent. I left the chunks of celery nice and big because I will be removing those later. For the seasoning, you'll add 1 teaspoon salt, 1 teaspoon pepper, 1 teaspoon thyme, and 1 teaspoon of parsley, and 1 teaspoon of oregano. You'll then add your seasonings to the mirepoix and get that stirred up. And after this, we are going to add some chicken stock. So you'll add the chicken bouillon first, 5 teaspoons, and get that stirred up. And then you'll start by adding 2 cups of water. Just to start with, we want to make sure we have space. And then you'll add the entire chicken. You'll get that all tucked in nicely into the pot. It doesn't have to be submerged all the way, but you do need to get the legs tucked in. And then you'll add another 2 to 3 cups of water, or until the maximum liquid level of the Instant Pot has been reached. You don't want to go above that level in the pot. And then you'll seal the lid and pressure cook. And the formula is 6 minutes per pound plus 6 minutes. So for a 5-pound chicken, the total is 36 minutes on high pressure. And you'll want to let that vent naturally by itself. And by the time it's done, the chicken should literally be fall off the bone tender. If it is not tender enough, go ahead and pressure cook it for another 5 to 6 minute increments. And this is the most time intensive part, is that you need to debone the entire chicken and then strain and jar up the broth, so that way everything is ready to go with no bones. And this is actually day 2. We are now going to make the matzo balls. You need matzo meal, baking powder, salt and pepper, garlic and onion, and fresh or dry parsley, some eggs, and you want the schmaltz, which if you chill the chicken broth, this schmaltz will actually settle in a layer at the top. You start with 1 cup of matzo meal, and then you'll add 1 teaspoon of baking powder. This helps make the matzo balls fluffy. Then you'll add 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1/4 teaspoon garlic powder, and 1/4 teaspoon onion powder. And And lastly, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. And you'll stir that up. And then you'll want to select 4 large eggs. I am so incredibly happy to be using these absolutely beautiful farm fresh eggs. We're making good use of every single one, putting them to a good purpose. And for farm fresh eggs, you do want to make sure that you wash them right before you crack them open. And then to the eggs, you'll add 1/4 cup of schmaltz. And by weight, it's approximately 53 grams. So when you see that schmaltz, the chicken fat, settling to the top of the broth, when you chill your broth in the fridge overnight, don't throw it away. This is not a time to be counting calories or worrying about fat. This is the best part of the soup. It is full of so much flavor. We're actually scooping it out of the soup to put into the matzo balls. But this stuff is gold. Do not throw the schmaltz away. And look at this jiggle. That's from the gelatin. You can tell it's a high quality soup that was made with bones, and all of that protein and the collagen makes for a really rich broth. And then you'll go ahead and stir the eggs and the schmaltz together and pour that into the matzo meal mixture with the seasonings in there. And you'll add 1 teaspoon dry parsley, or if you're using fresh, 1 tablespoon of fresh parsley. And then you'll stir up this mixture all the way until everything is well incorporated, and you'll let it set in the fridge for half an hour. And now we'll go ahead and prepare the broth to boil the matzo balls. So you want to do 5 quarts of chicken stock. So if you're going from bouillon, you need 5 quarts of water and 5 teaspoons of bouillon. Or if you have chicken stock in a box, you can just pour in 5 quarts. That gives the matzo balls enough space and enough liquid to cook. You'll heat that up to a boil, and then you'll go ahead and form the chilled matzo ball mixture into approximately 1-inch spheres. And you can make them a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller. It really is just however you like it. And just keep in mind that they will get bigger as they cook because they absorb a lot of water. And you'll go ahead and drop the matzo balls into the boiling broth. And then you'll cover and simmer them for 30 to 50 minutes. And you want to check them at 30 minutes. If you're making smaller matzo balls, they will cook faster and you don't want them to overcook. So we are going to go ahead and check ours at the 30-minute mark. So what you want to do is you actually cut the matzo ball in half, and you want to look at the color and the texture. And as you can see, this one is dark and dense in the middle, showing that it has not cooked all the way. So we'll go ahead and cook them a little bit longer. This one went to 50 minutes total, and we'll check them again at this point. And we'll cut them in half. And now you see it's an even texture, even color throughout. This one is perfectly cooked. So now you'll go ahead and get your matzo balls out of the broth so they don't cook anymore. And everything in this recipe actually freezes really well. The matzo balls freeze, the soup freezes. So you can always put some away for a rainy day. Quite literally, if you have a cold, pull this out of the freezer and it's perfect. And then you'll go ahead and assemble your bowl and heat it up until heating temperature. Some people like it tepid, some people like it steaming hot. Make it however you like it. And then you'll add your matzo balls. And now it's time for a taste test. Matzo ball soup will literally cure anything. Thank you so much for watching, and betevon.